All right, hey guys, I know you can't see me, but obviously it's Rick Bigger. We're going to talk about some EMS statistics real quick. If you guys remember last year during ACLS, we had, I know I did on B shifts. I think everybody got to see it, but I went through some code review software that we were doing a demo on and how it would let us see what was going on during the arrest. A lot easier, and we could train on the things that we needed to. Well, we got that approved, and the fire chief got us a license for it. So now we have it now. It just went live a few days ago. So what's that mean to you guys? What it means is that your EMS shift rep is going to be reviewing the cardiac arrests as they happen. And I believe Chief Blevins wants us, it's his desire that by the next shift, somebody either talks to you over the phone, sends you an email, or sits down with you and goes through that arrest and reviews it. And then obviously that's extra training credit as well. So we'll talk about real quick just some statistics and kind of give you guys a rundown of what you'll kind of be seeing from us. This is ESO here. There's some analytics that it has. But what this lets us do is look at dates and tells us what we have. So far, in the last 45 days since January 1st, we've had 7 cardiac arrests, and we've had one that was VTAC VFib, and that person had ROSC in the field, so that gives us that statistic there. We see asystole, others going to be PEA. VTAC VFib are the ones we're worried about. Those are the ones that are savable for us, and we had one, and we were able to get ROSC. Okay. This data is not 100% complete. I'm still working on it. I'm working with several guys right now. We're going to talk about it real quick of how to make sure this data gets to me correctly. Okay, but 14%, that's good. 100% on our VTAC VFib as far as the reported data, so that's excellent. So good work on that, guys. And we have then taken this person and we have flagged their data health exchange. If you guys remember the MRN becoming very important, we were able to flag that, and then that tracks that patient's outcome, and we'll be able to get you guys accurate information on what happens to them, particularly if they have a code save. And that information will get reported back to you as it gets updated on the health exchange. All right, so real quick, one problem that we've had with this is what we select. So I'm gonna go back to ESO real quick. So on an EHR, the disposition really matters on this. So there's a couple things. I'm just going to do a new record real quick, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. When we go down here on the first page to disposition, okay, or excuse me, there's a couple things that really helps out. Make sure we've had at least a dozen people that have transported lights and sirens that selected this, or vice versa, right? So make sure you're reading the one that you're selecting. Obviously no lights and then lights. So we've had a lot of calls that came up as transported lights and sirens, and probably a good dozen in the 45 days of this year. And you look at the PCR and it's a general sick call, and it's really confusing. You email the guy, the crew, like, hey, what is this? And it turns out that the wrong one was selected. So probably just fat fingers is something to worry about. Think about though, if you select this one, there's a good chance your call may get lost in the QA. So we don't QA 100% of the no lights and sirens calls. So just be aware of the one that you're picking. Another option that can really help out here is in the flow chart. Okay, so in your flow chart, make sure that we're selecting CPR and a good CPR start time. Okay, that is very important that you put when that happens. If you don't select CPR, it's hard for the program to detect that happened. We can find that in code review, but then once I find it in code review, I have to go back to here and you have to go fix this, and I can't fix it for you. I wish I could, but I can't. So you'll have to go back here and fix this so that it'll show up in our statistics. And the last one, I believe it's on narrative. Yep, primary impression. This is the big one, okay? ESO mainly chooses where this ends up based on your primary impression. So you guys for years have heard me get, the people that like to make fun of me about it, get frustrated with people constantly picking general sick or constantly picking sick person or what was this called? General supportive care, the protocol, right? It's not there anymore. It's not there for a reason because it just throws your ticket away basically. For our fire report people that are familiar with that, you know how we try not to select the general call because it messes with our data. Exact same thing here, it messes with the data here. So make sure that you're picking a primary impression that is the most serious, okay? So we had this the other day. Primary impression was unconscious. Secondary impression was cardiac arrest when it was clearly a cardiac arrest. So primary impression on that is definitely going to be cardiac arrest. When you don't put cardiac arrest here, this call gets thrown away. It doesn't read it as being a cardiac arrest because it's down here. So that most serious impression, that's definitely going to be your primary impression. So that can help out a lot too. All right, so enough ESO, guys. Let's click over real quick and look at this Zoll code review. And I'll kind of show you guys some something already that good news. So we can look at, say, our CPR trend, which is the main thing that we're focusing on this year, really trying to get our CPR improved. We focused a lot last year during ACLS on how to use the feedback on the monitor and get better at cardiac arrest. So we're going to look at year to date. We're just going to look at year to date, and down here at the bottom we get some data. Okay, so these are our goals on top here. This is what we're looking for. On bottom is what we currently have done. And then you'll notice in January we don't have statistics because we didn't have the program yet. So we're only looking at 2 arrests from February, but just something to fill you guys in on what we're looking for and what will eventually, what you guys will be getting talked to about, or you're being shown, okay? So compression quality greater than 60%. We're currently at 51.3, which is dramatic improvement. That's double what we were last year. So we were riding at like 22 to 25 last year consistently when we did the demo. So already great improvement on the rest. We're just looking for greens across the bottom of the board. So average depth is good. Manual rate 116, great. Release velocity is great. Average compression fraction 51%, looking for 60, really close, very good. Average pre-shock pause 2.8 seconds. So the guys who ran these arrests were really rocking it. Average post-shock pause 2 seconds. So both those we want to get under 10, or excuse me, under 5. So great. A lot of green here, and the reds that we have, very, very close. So we're already seeing dramatic improvement in this. And we're going to keep using this data, and you'll get you'll get walked through the entire case of this. See this manual CPR right here? This is why it needs you to put that in there. But you guys will get walk through these as your calls come in, and you'll be able to look at playback and kind of second by second of what went on during the call. Okay, so there's lots of ways they can do, and your shift rep will do it however they want. But for my shift reps that are watching this, I'm going back and I'm putting in the run number as the patient ID and then their name. So we have to find it in here and then go find the PCR on ESO and then enter their information so we know who this person is. But this tells us kind of what happened. It's just a general overall look at what happened. You have a performance summary, which is where a lot of the review will be looked through. This lets you go step by step and see. So these guys did a great job. I believe this is Coates and Sipes, Hansford and Grantham, if I remember correctly. But C-Shift, awesome job on this. We had a shock here. Good identified VFib. A lot of blue is what we're looking for. Blue, 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 blue. Whole lot of it. You can get into the data of it. Ventilations, end tidal great. This person had a very high end tidal because the CPR was awesome. So good work on this call. You can CPR zoom this and get more into the metrics of CPR. Look at this as well. And this really tells you a whole lot of data about it, but a lot of blue, as you said, really good. And then you can play this back second by second throughout the call. So if you have something that happens, you can go back and look at it, kind of look at what went on. This shows you the pauses, and you're looking for nice, consistent, spaced out pauses that are about the same size. So we had a whole lot of good during this call. So great work. This will read it all. This is really cool. If you guys did ACLS with me last year, I went through this, but we'll be going through this a lot. Chief Blevins has asked me to fill you in on this and kind of let you know. But expect to be hearing from your shift rep once you guys start getting a rest. And expect to be hearing back from us with some code saves once we get all the data. Thanks you guys for watching this. I appreciate you. I'm going to put this in on the training, on ESO, so you'll be able to sign yourself up for this and get some credit for a little bit of CEUs. So thanks for watching, guys.